recording. Yeah. So we are studying heat, latent heat of fusion. What do we understand by latent heat of fusion? Some heat, for now, itna hi samajh lo, some heat is getting hidden when ice is converted into water. Okay. Ice gets converted into water. Okay. We'll look into this with the help of the video. So before going into video, let's answer basic questions. Go to the chat box, type the answer of this, or if you want, you can come off mute as well. So the first question for you, if I heat many ice cubes, what will happen after some time? If I heat many ice cubes, what will happen after some time? Water. Yeah, no brainer, right? Sandesh. It will get into liquid form. They will melt. Water mil jayega. Perfect. If I heat water, what will happen after some time? Shubham, you're making me laugh. Gas. Perfect, right? If I heat water for a long time, it will get vaporized. It will turn into a gaseous state. Steam ban jayega. Everyone who answered in the chat box, correct. Appreciate it. Okay. Now, given this basic knowledge, कि ice water हो जाएगा, water vapor हो जाएगी, we'll see this video. Okay. Give me a minute.
In a beaker, and we heat the ice. Before heating, the temperature of ice is minus.
Okay, so this is nothing but a small experiment where there's enough ice cubes given in the beaker and we are heating ice cubes. And we know what is going to happen with ice cubes, right? Ice cubes are going to turn into water, right? So let's see what happens with temperature. So ice cubes के बीच में एक बहुत बड़ा सा there's a thermometer and we'll be recording temperature by using this thermometer. Initially, the temperature is -3 degrees Celsius. बहुत ज़्यादा ice है, right? So the initial temperature is -3. Now let's see what happens when we start heating many ice cubes. Okay, look at the graph. Look at how it is changing.
3 degrees Celsius. As we heat the ice, the temperature of the ice rises. It goes to -2 degrees Celsius, then it rises to -1, then it rises to 0 degrees Celsius. Now at 0 degrees Celsius, the temperature of the ice stops rising and the ice starts melting. But we are constantly supplying heat. We have not stopped supplying heat. Still, the temperature is constant at 0 degrees Celsius. It isn't rising. Now ice is melting, and once the ice melts completely, the temperature now starts rising. And remember,
what happened is that all of the ice needed to be melt. पूरा melt होने के बाद ही फिर से temperature बढ़ना चालू हो गया. Okay, so there's some melting point जिस पे temperature बिल्कुल नहीं बढ़ा, and after all of the ice gets melt, temperature started increasing again. Okay, let's look at this complete graph and then we'll go back to the concept.
That we are constantly supplying heat. Now the ice is converted to water and now the temperature has started rising because we are heating water. The temperature rises now to 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, constantly rises and it reaches 100 degrees Celsius. Now at 100 degrees Celsius, the water starts converting into the gaseous state. And at this temperature, the temperature becomes constant. It stops rising. It is 100 degrees Celsius now. But we are still constantly supplying heat. Now, when the water completely gets converted into the gaseous state, now the temperature starts rising. What must be happening at the melting point of ice and at the boiling point of water that the temperature stops rising?
Yeah. So this is the question that Piyusha asked in the chat box, ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है? Why this melting point 0 degree Celsius पे? Why suddenly we are supplying heat? Heat तो आ रही है, but फिर भी temperature नहीं बढ़ा. So what is exactly happening at this point and this point is nothing but, can you make connections with the objective of the lesson? Where is this heat going? Okay, hidden heat. Perfect, Suraj, right? It is getting hidden. Yeah, somewhere the heat is getting hidden. So all eyes on the screen and all ears towards me, whatever I'm saying to this, that so whatever happening is at this point is nothing but this particular point when we reach 0 degree Celsius, ice जब convert हो रहा था water में, when we reach 0 degree Celsius, the heat is getting supplied, but the temperature is not rising. Why? Because the heat energy that is being supplied is being used to break the bonds from solid to liquid state, right? State is changing. Ice से water हो रहा है, solid से liquid हो रहा है. So there's this heat energy, the hidden heat energy is being used to break the bonds, to break the force of attraction between the atoms, to be able to convert solid to liquid, right? So इसके वजह से we can convert something which is very solid, ice, to something which is liquid, water. So this particular point, this heat is absorbed for breaking the force of attraction between the atoms. Okay, ice में सारे perfect, right? It is used to break the bonds so that the convergence could happen. So this is nothing but a latent heat of fusion. At this point, what is happening? Some heat is getting hidden, and it is getting hidden where? It is getting hidden into breaking the breaking bonds of atoms to convert solids into liquids. And this is nothing but called as latent heat of fusion. Okay, latent heat of fusion. So this is the basic, very basic concept, and which is very similar. If this is a latent heat of fusion, what should be this one? Can anyone get this? Latent heat of fusion is, if this is the latent heat of fusion, then this should be, yes, Radha, tell me.
Didi, evaporation or vaporization.
Perfect, right? Latent heat of vaporization. Now keep a check on this particular point. This particular point is completely being handled by you. I'm going to ask questions by you. आप खुद से आने वाले हो इसके explanation पे, boiling point के. Water to vapor का एक conversion आप देखने वाले हो. Ice to water का I'm going to tell you right now. So the question that comes to us in the exam is, we must be given a graph. एक graph होता है. And from this we need to write about the latent heat of fusion and vaporization. So this graph must be given to you in exam. So to come up with the answer and not ratta maro it, I have come up with a few very easy steps. Okay, to know the steps, Suraj, can you read the steps on the screen, please?
Okay, step 1, look at the starting temperature. Step 2, write about how temperature is increasing with more heat. Step 3, look at what level temperature stops increasing. Step 4, define that point along with definition. Step 5, last, write why temperature remained constant at that point.
Yeah. So Suraj, when you are reading it, does it like making sense कि आप जो पढ़ रहे हो समझ आ रहा था? बस read कर लिया. Yes, आ रहा था. Okay. Fusion is nothing but converting one item into another. So like when two things are added together, it is fusion. Many dance numbers are fusion. I can make connections to that. So when two things are converted from one form to another, it is called fusion. So that is why the word fusion is used. Okay, I hope I answer your question, Radha. Yeah, so Suraj has read this 5 points. Now what we are going to do, we are going to answer 1 and 3 in the chat box for me to know that you are there, you are listening to me. And go to the chat box, tell me what was the starting temperature when we converted ice into water. Go to the chat box, type the number. Okay, thank you, Radha, for being so quick. Okay, Shubham, Inde, I want you to correct yourself. Thank you, Amruta. Thank you, Adi. Thank you, Suraj, Sandesh, Tanishka, Sakshi. Yeah, the ice and the mixture of ice cube, it was very cold. It was at -3 degrees Celsius, right? Thank you, everyone, for putting it into chat box. And can you tell me at what temperature at what particular temperature the temperature became constant, or the temperature stopped rising? Suraj, -0 is not the thing. Zero. Shubham Inde, 100 is when water is converted into vapor. I'm asking you about ice to water. 0. Correct? So 0 degree temperature stopped moving. Yeah, stopped rising. इससे आगे नहीं बढ़ रहा था. It became constant. And which point is called melting point. So through these 5 easy questions, we'll be answering this. And I'm pretty sure if you follow the steps, you would be able to answer this very clearly in the board exam. Boards exam, this is a 3 to 4 marks per question. Okay, in which you need to explain the graph. Okay, so let's make easy sentences by considering these steps. Let's look at the first step. Look at the starting temperature. As you all told me, it is -3 degrees Celsius. So I am going to write it. This is I do. Okay, this is what I am doing. Next part you will be doing. So keep an eye कि मैं कैसे कर रही हूँ. Okay, so the first step is initially when a container is filled with ice cube, temperature is -3 degrees Celsius. Pretty easy to write, right? Initially, when a container is filled with ice cubes, temperature is -3 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's see what is step 2. Write about how temperature is rising with more heat. Okay, so instead of me reading this, Sakshi, can you read the rising part?
Rising as we heat the container, ice cubes start melting, temperature starts rising.
Yeah, so I'm talking about this part in which temperature is rising. I am looking at the graph and writing about this. As we heat the container, ice cubes start melting, temperature starts rising. Okay, let's talk about constant temperature. Temperature rises in continuation with the last sentence. We are writing temperature rises till 0 degrees Celsius and it remains 0 degrees Celsius until all the ice melts completely. Okay, it remains 0 degrees Celsius until all the ice melts completely. So I have basically written about the melting point. So in the next 4th step, I'm going to write the definition of melting point. Okay, because you know that science 1 definitions are super important. Okay, Sandesh, can you come off mute and read the definition part? Sandesh? Sandesh or Viraj, if you're there. अरे क्या हुआ?
ठीक है. Why
हाँ,
temperature remains constant?
No, बच्चे वो नहीं. Definition. Read about definition.
ठीक है. Definition: the temperature remains constant during this transition. This constant temperature at which the ice converts into water is called the melting point of ice.
Perfect, right? This constant temperature, very easy definition, right? Very easy. If you look at this, it is an easy definition. The temperature, the constant temperature at which ice converts into water is called melting point, right? Not difficult to remember. The temperature, the constant temperature, we are talking about this part at which ice converts to water is called melting point of ice. Okay, now you must write, right, कि कहाँ जा रहा है, where this heat is going, why this is happening, why the temperature is remaining constant. So for that, there's a last part. Radha, can you read the last part?
Yes, Didi. So while temperature remains constant, this heat energy is used to overcome the force of attraction between atoms to be able to convert solid from liquid. The heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of solid into liquid is called latent heat of fusion.
Right. So this, the whatever is in bold is, what is that, Radha? Whatever is in bold?
It's a definition and very
It should,
important.
and very important, it should be written as it is. Okay, in your board exams, it is very important. So this heat energy is used to overcome the force of attraction. Where is this heat energy going? It is being used to overcome the force of attraction between atoms, right? We are converting one state to another. So this is where this heat energy is going. This is where this heat energy is getting hidden. So you must write this at the end, and you should end the answer with the definition. Okay. For me to check your understanding, I am going to ask you very quick questions. So for the first question is for everyone, go to the chat box, type into it. 0 degree Celsius is known as, and you can see the answer on the screen. Thank you, Radha. I want everyone to be as quick as Radha. I would really appreciate it. Okay, thank you, Isha, Prathamesh. Now you are being really quick that I'm not able to keep up with the chat box. Yeah, 0 degrees Celsius is nothing but a melting point in which ice melts into water. It is a constant temperature. Yeah. No, do not write this particular slide. This particular slide I want you to write at home. Okay, because this is a lot of content. Okay, I will share the class document right away. Okay, so the second question is, where does this hidden heat being utilized? Can I ask Sakshi or Viraj to answer this question? At melting point, there's some heat getting hidden. So where it is being utilized? Viraj or Sakshi?
So it is getting utilized in 0 degree Celsius.
Yeah, perfect. It is happening at 0 degree Celsius. But kahan heat ja kahan rahi hai? For what it is being used?
For melting.
हाँ.
For melting, correct. Melt to ho hi raha hai, right? Melt to idhar bhi ho raha tha. Like at this stage also ice was getting melt into water. But at particular stage where this heat energy is going,
It is getting into water
it is
formation.
getting hidden in, no, water formation. Yeah, can you expand that answer? Water formation is exactly what? What do we understand by water formation? It's okay, Sakshi. आराम से बोलो, कोई जल्दी नहीं है. Okay. Okay, it's okay, Sakshi. Thank you for answering whatever you can. Okay, love it. Thank you, Radha, Adi, Prathamesh, and Suraj for putting it into chat box. Suraj, can you come off mute and write it? Sorry, can you come off mute and articulate it?
वही मैं
out
भी
your
सोचने
answer.
लगा कि इससे मैं लिखूंगा. हाँ, डिवाइडिंग द मॉलिक्यूल्स टू फॉर्म वाटर, मतलब कि वो मॉलिक्यूल्स को ना, अभी उसको सॉलिड है तो उसका एटम्स को जरा फैलाएगा वो, फिर वही तो वाटर होगा.
Suraj, behave, okay? It's okay that we are coming out of holidays. In English, we should answer, है ना?
Okay, English.
Yeah. Please do that again. Tell me the answer again. Where does this heat energy being utilized? Can you tell me in a crisp 2 points?
Heat is utilized in dividing the atoms to form water.
Okay, in dividing atoms, can you take, Radha, can you tell us the 2 points crisply and exactly, like precisely?
The hidden heat is being utilized when the water gets converted into ice, I guess.
Ice is converted into water.
Sorry, Didi, ulta ho gaya.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
it's okay, it's okay. Guys, look into this graph. This graph is going to be there in the exam. Okay, if not, we'll be reading we'll be practicing this graph कि हम खुद draw करेंगे. So look at this graph and now answer this. Where does this heat energy being utilized? Okay, Prathamesh, go ahead. You raised your hand.
The heat is utilized to overcome the force of attraction, and the heat is hidden in the transformation of matter.
Perfect, right? Claps for everyone who tried, right? धीरे धीरे हम आंसर तक आ ही गए. And why I was pressing you for this answer is important. Why is important? Where does exactly this hidden energy going is important, and being able to write it in crisp 2 points in the exam is also important. Okay, so whatever your collective efforts are, हमने लिख लिया exam में 2 crisp points में. Okay, very good for voicing it out, Prathamesh and everyone. So guys, like, this is why this particular statement is underlined. Look at this, this is underlined, so for you to be able to remember it. Okay, so last quick question. Heat energy absorbed between solid to liquid is called, heat energy absorbed between solid to liquid is called, and the answer is right there in front of your eyes. Okay, thanks Sujal, Sandesh, Suraj. Love it for your crisp answers. Type it fully so that you are writing it spelling. Latent heat of fusion. Thank you, Tanishka, Radha, Sakshi, Shubham. Okay, this is nothing but latent heat of fusion. Thank you, Adi. Okay, so we are done with the latent heat of fusion, and like ice to water conversion, that is what we have seen till now. Okay, so give me a quick confidence check how much you have understood the concept and how much you will be able to write it answer in the paper, because both is important. This topic is both conceptual plus theoretical. तो कितना समझ आया और कितना लिख पाओगे? And you know the not the great news about this topic is not being reduced from your syllabus at all. 3.5, 4, 3.9, 3.1, 3.5. Okay, 3. Okay, 3 is not a bad place to be, but whoever is at 3, you must go through the class document after the end of the class, write the note, and try to internalize the concepts. Okay, whoever typed in 3, I'm going to watch you all closely if you are going to submit homework today. Okay, yeah, डरो नहीं, बस I want you all to do the homework so that your concepts are fine. Okay, Piyusha, don't worry. Okay, thank you for telling me your understanding, but I'm pretty sure after doing latent heat of vaporization, your understanding will be solidified. Okay, so this part will be done by you. Okay, this part is very similar to what happened from ice to water. The next part will be done by you. Who has turned down the camera? Give me a minute. Huh? Yes, so there are steps on the screen, and this part will be done by you. Okay, who last slide someone wanted to write this down, right? Now it's your time. Look at the particular graph, and you are going to write what is happening from water to water vapor. Okay, with the help of the graph, use this 5 steps and write down what is happening from water to water vapor. You have 7 minutes to do this. Before going into writing this, can I ask anyone to quickly repeat my instructions, whoever have heard this? What are we going to do right now? What are we writing? Okay, go ahead, Radha.
With the help of this graph, we are going to answer the 5 questions that we did last time, but for boiling point and water vaporization, and we have 7 minutes to do it, and we have to answer in brief. And when we are done, we have to type done once we are done.
Perfect. Yeah, it's 12:37. You have time till 12:45. 12:44 actually. Okay, take 7 minutes to write down this. Ask me if you have any pressing questions by messaging me. Rather, this particular question I'll answer you later. Look at the graph. What is the starting temperature? Students, I want all of you to attempt writing this. I want all of you to try writing this. I'm going to randomly ask anyone to share me the class notes. Yeah? Shubham, why have you turned the camera on? Shubham Inde. Guys, I want all of you to try writing this. Yes, Piyusha, just write it in the sentence. Make a sentence for the first answer. That's why I made simpler sentences for you in the last slide. This is the last slide. Use the word initially when a container is filled with water. Okay. It's okay, Sandesh, that you're dropping off. We are writing about conversion of water to water vapor. We are writing about boiling point, just as we did for ice to water. We are doing latent heat of vaporization. You can read the title on this particular slide. Okay, are these done? You have 3 more minutes. It's okay, take your time. Siddhaki is done. Thank you, Sandhaki. Thank you, Isha. If you had any doubts while writing this, write down your doubts. Just 2 more minutes. Okay, step 4 is unclear. Definition is unclear. Boiling point को कैसे लिखे is unclear. Can you, Suraj, make connections with melting point? How did we write melting point? I'll tell you how did we write melting point. The constant temperature at which ice converted into water is called melting point. So can you write about boiling point? Yeah. One minute to go. After 1 minute, I want everyone back on the screen. I'm waiting for more done messages. The last 30 seconds. It's okay till whatever point you have written. If you are back on the screen, give me a done. Back to the screen, give me a done. Thank you, Radha. Waiting for more people to be back. Yusha is back. Suraj is back. Radha is back. I want every 34 students to be back right now. Okay. Thank you, Arpita. So are you all back? Yeah. So quickly to type into the chat box. Do think. Type into the chat box. Do think. Okay. I know that 3 people are back. 6, 7 people are back. 8, 9 people are back. Okay. Love it that commit ka spelling is now coming. Okay. Do think commit. Yeah, this is easy, no? So I can really know how many people are there. Okay. Good that all of you are back. All of you have attempted to write this answer. Okay. So let's try to unravel the steps. Okay. Who can come off mute and tell me what was the starting temperature? What is the line that you have written about the starting temperature? Shubham ji, yes, tell us.
The starting temperature was 0 degrees Celsius.
Okay. How have you written the statements about it? How have you written the statements? Adiya, can you tell me? Go ahead, Adi. You're raising hand, no?
The starting point of the uh, graph is 0 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, but it is something more than 0 degrees Celsius. Can we say it is more than 0 degrees Celsius? Yeah, Radha, tell me.
Didi, I have written that the initial temperature of water is more than 0 degree, because Didi, at 0 degree Celsius, not the water, it's the melting point of ice and getting converted to water. So hence I have written it's a little more than 0 degree Celsius.
Perfect, right? So good that we are covering this, that you should write the temperature of water is more than 1 degree Celsius. 0 degree Celsius where we know ki at 0, water is not water, water is ice. So it is something more than 1 degree Celsius. Okay. Initially, the start temperature of water is more than 1 degree Celsius. So write about how temperature is increasing with heat. How have you written the statements? I want any one of you to read the statements from your book. Look at your book. What is the statement that you have written? How temperature is increasing with more heat? I want someone to raise hand if you want to read. It's okay if you are wrong. Okay, I want someone else than Adi to answer this. Isha, yes, tell me.
Temperature start going up from 1 degree Celsius and 1 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius. After that, it start water vaporing.
After that,
Water vapor starts.
whatever but start. Okay, we can frame the sentence better. But whatever you said about the first part is correct, Isha. As water starts heating, we can write this, right? As water starts heating, its temperature rises from 1 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius. There's a range of temperatures. एक से बढ़ के 100 degree Celsius तक it is going. Okay, this part Isha explained. Now, can anyone come off mute and explain about this part by looking at the graph? Look at what temperature stops increasing. Who is raising hands? So Radha. Anyone else than Radha or Isha? Suraj, yes, tell me. Thank you for putting it into chat box. Many of you are doing it.
At 100 degrees Celsius, it starts stopping.
It stops increasing. Yeah, at 100 degrees Celsius, it becomes constant. It stops increasing. At 100 degrees Celsius, temperature stops increasing and remains constant until all the water converts into vapor. Okay, this is how you should write it. Thank you, Suraj, for telling it. Okay, step 4, define that point. Define that boiling point. Boiling point is right there in front of your eyes. How can we define it? How can we define it? Anyone has attempted defining this? I helped Suraj, I guess. Suraj, have you attempted defining this?
Yes. क्या पता
क्या?
अभी गलत है क्या सही है हाँ definition
बताओ.
at the बताता at this point water got heat as much that it will start becoming water vapor.
Okay, but is this a definition? At constant temperature, I told you something is getting converted into something. So, can we define
Water
it?
is getting converted into water vapor.
Correct, right? So at this constant temperature, Suraj, read the step 4 ka answer.
Yes, the constant temperature at which the liquid transforms into gaseous state is called the boiling point of the liquid.
Correct, right? And why did I ask you? Because you asked me how to define this. So the constant temperature, we are writing about this particular point. The constant temperature at which liquid transforms into gaseous state is called boiling point of liquid. Was it difficult? Definition is not
No.
difficult. Liquid is converted into gas at a particular constant temperature. That constant temperature is called as a boiling point. Not difficult. Yeah. Okay. So step 5 is very important, but very similar than what we had written previously. Can anyone of who wants to come off mute and answer this? Why this temperature is remaining constant? What is happening at the boiling point? Piyusha, I want you to read the answer from your notebook. Okay, Prathamesh has also raised hand. If Piyusha doesn't answer, Prathamesh, you go ahead. मैं टाइप कर देती हूँ ठीक है टाइप इट आउट प्रथमेश go off mute and tell to us what have you written in your notebook. Read it from your notebook.
Yes, the temperature remained constant because the heat was consumed at the transfer of water to water vapor.
Okay, I love the use of word because. Perfect. Okay, you said that because the temperature is remaining constant because the heat energy is being used to again convert the is being used. So there's some change of language over here. I'll correct this. But it is being used to break the bonds between molecules of liquid and to convert liquid into gaseous state. And Prathamesh said it is being used to convert water to water vapor, and that is also okay. Okay. So the final definition of latent heat of vaporization is, I feel ki we should read and we should perfect it after studying it. So I want Shubham Ji to read the definition.
The amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a liquid to convert into gaseous phase is called the specific latent heat of vaporization.
Okay, yes, thank you. Right, so very similar than latent heat of fusion. Whatever happened during conversion of ice to water, same thing is happening from water to water vapor. Okay, heat is getting hidden, and that heat is being used to break the bonds to make happen the conversion of state from one state to another. Okay. Is there any question, anything that you are not understanding, anything that is blurry in your head? You can use atoms word, molecules nahi use karna to molecules. Yeah, it is not professional, Piyush, it is scientific. Okay, giving you why by unit mass. Okay, I even like I am making some assumption over here when I answer this, but why unit mass is being used in the definition is that we are talking about a particular volume of liquid that is being taken care into the consideration. So we are not talking generally, we are talking about a particular instant at which some substance is under consideration. Okay, so by unit mass of liquid, that is how it has been used. By unit mass of liquid, so it has been used in a sense that ki 1 liter water use kiya hai. So to convert from a liquid to gaseous phase. Okay, so we are not talking about general water or general quantity. We are talking about this particular experiment, this particular water that is being taken, and the particular unit mass of liquid. Okay, I am not 100% sure of this, but this should be it. Okay, if not, I'll get back to this to you on tomorrow. Okay, Radha, we are talking about this particular experiment. That's why unit mass is being mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah, if not, I'll get back to you on this tomorrow. Definitely. Any other questions? Thank you for this question, Radha. Any other questions that you are not understanding? Giving you like 2 minutes. So if you do not have questions, we have questions for you. So now I'm going to ask you very easy answers, very easy questions, and you're going to send me directly so that you don't copy the answers. So host, and now you're going to send the answers to me very quickly, and you have like 2 minutes to do so. You do not send the answer once you have written the answers. You will send answers when I say go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go pay. You know this drill. We do this. So there are 4 questions on the screen. Write down the answers. When I say go, you will send me the answer. Send it to me privately. Easy questions from which we have learned this particular concept. Okay, I'm looking for all of you to answer this. Take like complete 2 minutes to answer this. 1.5 minutes now. Answer only fill in the blank wala part. Answer only blanks. I asked many of you these questions during the class as well. Not many, one. I'm waiting for your answers. Okay, you are waiting for my instructions to say go. I know that. Okay, 30 more seconds. I hope you are getting all the 5 blanks ready, typed out in your chat box. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, पता था मुझे कोई तो सेंड करेगा ही. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, love it. Array, this could be at everyone as well. Okay. Thank you, Prathamesh. Thank you, Adi, Shubham, Jatin, Resham. Resham, good. Can you try more answers? Latent heat of fusion. The first answer is hidden. Latent heat of fusion, vaporization, 0 degrees Celsius. I want fourth answer to be corrected, Prathamesh. This is not a correct answer. First का नहीं पता. Latent heat is nothing but, Jatin, you joined in late. Okay, that's why you don't know the answer of the first question. Thank you, Kiran, Sunil. I want more students to try the answer. Okay, धीरे धीरे send कर रहे हो. Prathamesh, Adi, Shubham, you all are correct. Resham is correct. Tanishka, you are also correct. Yes, you got it. You are 100% correct. Radha, you are 100% correct. Yeah. Okay. So whoever attempted this and whoever got 100% correct, thank you. Okay. Thank you for paying attention throughout the class. Suraj, you are also correct. You needed revision in the 0 and 100. Okay. Tanishka doesn't want to come off mute. Adi, can you repeat all the answers? Just quickly come off mute and say the answers.
Latent heat is nothing but hidden heat energy when matter changes its state. Heat energy absorbed between solid to liquid is called latent heat of fusion. Heat energy
Perfect.
absorbed between liquid to gaseous is called latent heat of vaporization. Melting
Perfect.
point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius, whereas boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius.
Perfect, right? Whatever Adi said, all of the answers are correct. These are the very common fill in the blank questions that you would be asked in board exams and in weekly tests and whatnot. Okay, thank you. Whoever attempted this question and got the answers correct, good job. Okay, and I hope you correct yourself with the answers that Adi said. Okay, now give me a quick confidence check on the overall concept: latent heat of vaporization and latent heat of fusion. Both of the concepts. Give me a confidence check how much you can write this answer. Okay, 3.99. थोड़ा ज़्यादा clear हुआ, right? You should not be able. You should not need to ratta maro this concept. This is very easy concept. Once you know it, you should be able to write it with the help of steps. You know what is happening by looking at the graph. You should be able to write it. Okay, 3.5, 4. Prathamesh is sending me some smileys that I don't understand. 3.75, 3. Okay. Whoever is at 3, you know what to do, right? I'm going to keep a special eye on you that you submit the homework. So this is the homework. There are 3 very important questions. These 3 questions are taken from your exercise. So you do not need to do the exercise separately at the end of the chapter. So you will do these 3 questions and submit it. What is our standard time of submitting homework?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Yeah, no, Jatin. Yeah, it is 7. Before 7, I want all of you to try attempting this 3 questions right in a crisp, solid points that I always ask you to do. Okay? I'm going to see who is writing and how everyone is writing this. I should stop recording.